Don't wear shoulder pads. They don't look good on anybody. I think I was certainly an entrepreneur at heart. I wanted to learn how to invest when I was a little kid. I started a swimming business in our backyard, and so unlike all the other kids in town who were flipping burgers for minimum wage, I had this lovely job where I was making $30 an hour and outdoors. But certainly my father was a major influence. He was an entrepreneur, and at the time I probably rolled my eyes, but he would come home and he'd be talking about this employee and that employee and people and clients and business, and so I think I was getting this unofficial education in what it was like to run something, and to really be passionate about building something great. And almost 2 years into our journey, maybe 20 months into our journey, 9/11 happened. We were 2 blocks off ground zero. And so when it happened, we obviously lost our office, but people saw things that day that nobody should ever see. And as the leader of that group, your job is to get people through a situation like that. So the most important thing was just going to be figuring out the team, and focusing on the team, and that's stayed with me so much in life. That first principle always has to be, how good is the team? How strong is the team? How much does it feel like a team? Are they on a mission? Are they focused? And that everything else kind of melts away. That nothing great happens if that's not there. I actually think it's a fabulous time to be a woman in business. I think it's fine to be underestimated a bit. I don't know, there's something to me kind of liberating about that, and energizing. I remember at Travelocity, it was early days, and I was sent out to California to meet with the guy who ran supply. And he kept me waiting, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes, and clock's ticking, and I'm just sitting in the conference room. And he comes in, Vietnam vet, very sort of gruff, and he kind of pulls his glasses down a bit on his nose, and he stares at me and says, what can you possibly bring to the table here? And I remember just sort of taking a breath and saying, listen, it's so obvious what you do is extraordinary. You have all these relationships, you've been doing this for so long, you've built all this great supply. It must be very frustrating for you that there's not a great product and technology to use with all these great supply relationships. I'm actually pretty good at it, that's sort of my strength, but it has to be a great partnership between us. And I took a deep breath. I'm like, but you'll have to decide. You'll have to, figure out if this can. I hope it can be, and I'm sort of all in. And I left, and then I got in the elevator, and I cried, and I called my mom, and said, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And he called me back and said, I actually called the CEO, and I'm going to start reporting to you. And I said, "You start reporting to me? That doesn't make any sense, right? You're a bit more senior than I am, and et cetera." He goes, "Nah, your boss is a complete idiot. I'm sure he's going to be fired soon. I'd rather kiss up to you now, because then you're going to owe me a lot over the next, 4 or 5 years." I was probably much more insecure in many ways when I was younger, just in that I sort of relied on, I don't know if it's relied on the opinion of others, but just thought about that so much more. And it's that tender balancing act between knowing who you are and being grounded in who you are and being open to other people's opinions and thoughts, because that's really critical, but not, making sure you have a strong sense of self and that you have confidence about who you are. And I guess I think when I was younger, the sense of what does it mean to be a role model as a woman, because there just weren't that many women CEOs, not that many women in tech, to be thinking about being a mom, to be married, how do you juggle all these things? And I think at the time, it all seemed a bit daunting. It seemed like, how could you possibly do it all? I was working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at Travelocity, and so the thought of even squeezing dates in was so crazy. And yet, it all kind of unfolded so naturally and so easily, and generally I think 22-year-old me would feel pretty good about the balancing act of it all.